Okay, so the first thing they go through is a agonist versus an antagonist. So before we do that, let's kind of recap what this is here we're looking at. This is a synapse. Okay, a synapse is a junction between two nerves. You can have a neuromuscular junction where it would be a nerve and a muscle on the other side. Okay, but here it looks like I'm thinking we have two nerves. I can't really tell what the postsynaptic side is. Okay, so here we have a presynaptic side, postsynaptic side. These are called vesicles. Inside these vesicles are called neurotransmitters. Okay, like acetylcholine, for instance. If we were talking about, if this was a muscle on the other side, this would be acetylcholine. All right. And what happens is a signal comes from the cell body down the axon. And when it does that, it's an electrical message. Okay, we're going to go through this on a different slide in detail. I'm just kind of giving you a brief overview. And this electrical message, once it gets to this presynaptic, this is called a button or bouton, depending on who you talk to, the membrane, whenever it sends that signal, changes the membrane potential. Okay? And basically what happens is the environment changes, which triggers influx of calcium, which triggers the spitting out of that chemical message. Okay, one more time. So electrical message, that's from the movement of ions. We'll go through that in detail later. So electrical message changes the environment. No, apoptosis is breakdown. We'll talk about that later. This is the end of an action potential is what I'm talking about. So an action potential occurs, right? The signal travels down the axon, and then we get to over here, and the signal causes a change in the environment, which triggers the spitting out of these chemicals. So it goes from an electrical to a chemical message here. So the synapse, then the vesicles spit the neurotransmitters out into the synapse, and the neurotransmitters can either be reuptaken or they can be chopped up in the synapse. There are these enzymes, okay, that chop up the neurotransmitter, or they can reach their target, which is the receptor on the postsynaptic side. All right, so one more time. It can be reuptaken and reused. It can be chopped up by the enzymes, and there will be a slide about this later on too, or it'll hit the target receptor. And once it hits the target receptor, either it causes an excitation on the postsynaptic side or an inhibition. So it'll either inhibit or excite on the postsynaptic side. Okay, so that neurotransmitter comes, that purple sphere you see there comes, binds right here, then something happens on the other side. Okay,